be full of my knowledge. Don't worry about will I be known. Let's see how much of the earth is going to know me. The earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 9. Welcome to International Headquarters for the Nation of Yahweh, the Nation of Israel, the tribe of Judah. Well, you will learn our true history, culture, language, name, and land. That you will learn that so-called black people of America are Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew is our history, Hebrew is our culture, Hebrew is our language, and Israel is our common last name. All of North Africa, a tiny part today which is called Israel, was given to our patriarchal forefather Abraham forever, giving us equal status claim as a sovereign nation of people, the same as all other people have on the earth. A source of pride, honor, dignity, that we do have some place to call our own. Much the same as all other people who are in America have a land that they can claim as their own. Welcome. Psalms chapter 29, verse 2. Psalms chapter 29, verse 2. Let us read.
Give unto the Lord Yahweh the glory due unto his name. Worship the Lord Yahweh in the beauty of holiness.
Beauty of holiness. Holiness is beautiful. Let us give glory and strength. Give glory that is due to the name Yahweh. On my way here tonight, some people stopped right next to us on the stoplight, and they screamed through loud enough that I could hear from the back seat, waving. And they said, "You're doing a good job, Yahweh ben Yahweh. You're doing a good job." That's from the street. That's what's going on in the street. Acknowledgement that Yahweh, his name deserves glory and honor. For without the name Yahweh, we would have no occasion to be here together. And there would be no gathering together of Israel in America without the name Yahweh. So let us give unto Yahweh glory due his name. Now, I'm teaching something that is needed because my people are out in the world. They're all out in the world. And we all know what the world is doing. Here in Miami on the public beach, Haulover Beach, about a mile south of us on the beach, there was just a huge crowd of young teenagers who went up to 4 white girls. These were all white boys. They went up to 4 women laying on the beach. and attacked them, tearing off their clothes, taking their jewelry. So some of them fought back, of the four fought back, and they broke those women's jaws, dislocated their shoulders, beat them up. They ran for their life, and the lifeguards were afraid to come to their rescue. The women ran under a tunnel across the street from the park at the beach. And being lifeguards, they had a Jeep that had lights on it, that resembled police lights. So they thought to turn those on and drove through the underpass, and the women jumped on that thing, broken up as they were, and they had to drive away because they were snatching at them off the Jeep, even though they weren't sure whether they were police officers or not. 1989. A gang of 22 or so black youth in New York mugged, robbed, and raped several women. And they raped one white woman, 35 of them. The one thing I heard. Left her in a coma. Don't know what she's going to do. They found 8 of them. This kind of activity is going on all across the country, and in Los Angeles, they have now passed a law that anyone in a gang or associates with a gang or is caught walking down the street with a gang, you will be labeled a terrorist. By law, you are now a terrorist. And this is only in the black neighborhoods and the Hispanic neighborhoods. This gangs only apply to blacks and Hispanics. And they showed pictures that they do not do any of these things to white people, just strictly black people and Hispanics. They show the jails are overcrowded. They're closing down 42 military bases. And they said they're going to use those military bases to put all the black terrorists. Didn't I tell you 6 and 7 years ago this would happen? Didn't I write it in black and white? And I told you they called it FEMA. And I told you they would use the excuse of drugs. And when the drug activity and the murder from the drugs would rise, and they keep giving it headlines, and the police would act helpless. And when the police would act helpless in the face of the gangs, didn't I tell you they were going to pass laws and take away your civil rights? Didn't I tell you that? Well, it has now happened. It means any one of you, 3 of you on a corner, constitutes a gang. And you will get 3 years in jail automatically. And they had blacks testifying on television. That's good, need to stop those gangs. Those gangs are killing, they're killing. Washington, D.C. is killing more than they are in L.A. Detroit is killing more than they are in L.A. Chicago is killing more than they are in L.A. New York is killing many more than they are in L.A. L.A. is the spotlight. It's the excuse area. There are more Hispanics in Los Angeles than anywhere else in the country coming west until you get to New York. And the next biggest area is here in this area. They have passed the law. Your civil rights are gone. In Washington, D.C., Bush says he's going to call out the National Guard. Did you hear me? The National Guard is going to be called. They're going to use them against the dope dealers. And if you believe that, you still believe in the tooth fairy. Now, my people have no idea what this is. They actually believe this is a war against drugs. We are so ignorant. But you are not ignorant because I've taught you that these days are coming. See, it's not enough that 2 million of our babies are being murdered every year, and they call it abortion. It's not enough that every woman over 25 that's had 1 or 2 children have had their tubes cut. It's not enough that the rest are using every form of birth control there is. They're telling all in the black neighborhoods, AIDS is a threat, so use a condom or rubber. Now, if every black man used a rubber to keep from getting AIDS, what happens? No more what? No more babies. And when there's no more black babies, what happens to niggas? There'll be no more niggas. And guess what? They invite you to do this to yourself. They're not in your bedroom to put the rubber on you. You put the rubber on yourself. And if that's not enough, they have birth control clinics in your high schools, so that the few children you have will never have children, but they can have sex. Just take this pill and use this rubber. I know y'all don't hear me. And I know you don't understand. And then, if that's not enough, they teach our women, it's your body. I'm your son in your belly, but I don't have a right to live. If I get past the jelly and I get past the suppository, and if I can get past the tubal ligation, and if I can get past the rubber, and if I can get past all these other pills and diaphragms and get up in there anyway, if I get lucky, my father doesn't have anything to say about my life. They teach our women, you don't have to have it. You don't need your husband's permission, your parents' permission, God's permission, nobody's permission. It's your body. And if you come to us at the clinic, it's legal and it's all right to kill your baby. But if you wait 9 months and kill your baby, we'll charge you with murder, because see, we really want to get rid of both of y'all, you and your babies. I mean, how can it be murder at 9 months and not murder at 5 months? The baby looks the same, he's just smaller. Well, come on now, talk to me. I said, how is it murder at 9 months? Why do they want this Hispanic brother out in California because he killed 7 people? So what? So what? They kill 2 million babies every year. I mean, so what that the baby is 20 years old? I mean, so what the hell? I mean, you killed the baby at 20 weeks. So what's wrong with killing the baby at 20 years? Why is it murder at 20 years and not murder at 20 weeks? Come on now, talk to me. Talk to me. Hope somebody see the trick. I hope somebody can see the game. What's the game? Kill yourself off. Now, these are the things that I know you know is going on. And because I bring to your attention the truth of what is going on, I'm the only man in America that is bringing the reality of what's happening in America to my people. For this reason, your enemy who has you killing yourself wants to take me away from you. What? Oh, you don't know they want to take me from you? But in the meantime, they don't want me to open your eyes. And if you think that's enough, that's not really enough. You didn't hear some banks closed? Wasn't that here in Miami somewhere? Some banks closed, 3 of them. 3 just merged a year ago or so. And now the federal government has bailed them out, and now it's closed bankrupt. And some more savings and loans went bankrupt. Yesterday, just yesterday. 1,500 savings and loans are broke. Did I tell you it was going to happen? Did I tell you the money of America was going to fail? You probably don't know interest rates are going up. You may not know it. But I did tell you, didn't I? Easton, they thought they could tell Lorenzo what to do. 30,000 people lost their jobs. I read in the newspaper with my own 2 eyes 2 days ago that the hardest hit people are blacks. The ones that are hardest hit in the loss of their jobs at Easton are black folk. And you know what they said? I never dreamed when we went on strike that Easton would not come back. I never dreamed I would be without my job. But haven't I told you for years, more than 7 or 8, 9 years now, that as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be today? What happened then? They didn't know, they didn't believe until disaster struck. Here I am reading headlines like it was back in Noah's day. Can't you see the headline, the last newspaper print? This is the last issue. The flood is overtaking us, just like Noah said it was. Isn't it a shame we didn't listen to Noah? It's raining and it don't look like there's ever going to be any let up. Well, this is my last words as I try to catch a boat. Put on my life jacket. Noah is up on the mountain in an ark. The water's up there. It's too late to get up there now. All the roads are closed. Washed away. Can't you see it? If modern media was back in Noah's day. All the low-lying villages have been flooded out. You better head for higher ground. Can't you see it? And the last city on the highest hill was printing the disasters. What were the people doing then? Happy? Moaning and groaning. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Here I am today, warning you about these catastrophes. And here's a whole world out here of evil people, and out of that world comes to me people who hear my teachings and reject my teachings and leave me hating what I'm doing and go back into the world. And then there's a group that came from the world and remain with me. Will never be plucked out of my hand. Praise Yahweh. I said, will never be plucked out of my hand. Now, both groups were living in the same environment. You know, the world of confusion, hell, lies, wine, women, song, drugs, materialism. You know the world out there, profanity, low life living, no living at all, murder, burglaries. You know the world I'm talking about. I mean, wicked movies, pornography, 4 out of 5 getting a divorce. I mean, you know the world I'm talking about, right? I mean, where everybody's against everybody and chaos in the home, chaos in the community, chaos in the city, the counties, and the states, and the whole country. You know what I'm talking about, right? That world, called the world out there. Both groups come from the same world. What do you find me teaching? I teach the same. The law, statutes, judgments, commandments of Yahweh. I'm teaching us brotherhood, sisterhood, love each other, address the L. That's what I've been teaching ever since you've known me. Good, I'm a moral teacher. I teach you perfection ever since you've met me. All I've taught is perfection. What? I've never taught you less than perfection. All I've ever taught is perfection. I've taught you 6 and 8 hours a day, straight. Take a lunch break. Come back and teach 4 more hours of perfection. All right, you don't know I was, right? Psalm 19:7. Come on. Let's go to Psalms chapter 19, verse 7, and see if that's what I've been teaching or not. Read.
The law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple.
How long have I been teaching you the law? Ever since I came. And the law is what?
Perfect.
So, what have I been teaching?
Perfection.
Perfection. So people who come to me and sit here and stay however long, whether it's a day, a year, or years, have to witness that I teach perfection. Anyone who leaves me and what I teach hates what? When they say they hate what I'm doing, what do they hate? Perfection. And these are the people that our oppressors, the oppressors of our people, listen to and quote their statements in the newspaper against me. What? People that hate what? Perfection. Now the perfect laws of Yahweh will make you what? Wise. So people who come from the world to me and go back to the world hate what? Wisdom. And the law, which is perfect, said it will convert the soul. Huh? So people who leave the world and come to me and go back to the world, what happened to their soul? Not converted. So if a man comes to me and leaves me and hates the law, hates perfection, hates wisdom, was never converted, how could he ever be called my follower? The only way you can be my follower is keep my law. Is love what I'm doing? What? And a man that would testify against me, what is he against? He's against the law. He's against the one that gave the law. Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah. See, if you're against the law, the product, You're against the maker of the product. So any man that testifies against me is against the man that sent me. Here, I think your logic is working right now. Your logic may be off in other instances, and maybe your emotions have had you disturbed, but see, we're in class tonight. And you're a participant. Oh, hallelujah, Yahweh. I said a man that would testify against me has to be against the man that sent me. So he has attacked more than me. Now, a man that would attack me must have no regard for the man that sent me. I think Pharaoh was guilty of that with Moses. He had no regard for who sent Moses. See, Moses was raised up from among his brethren not to simply teach Israel who the God of their forefathers was, but he was raised up to teach Pharaoh who the God of Hebrews was. And Pharaoh didn't have any reverence or regard for the man that sent Moses. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huh? What? It's all the same. Now everybody that knows the Bible knows what happened to Pharaoh and all his army. Why? Because Pharaoh had no regard for the man that sent Moses. Now, I'm just here to tell you, Yahweh, the same yesterday, the same Yahweh today, and I'm here to tell you the same Yahweh forever. I mean, I'm here to tell you. Praise God. I'm talking about the man that's Alpha and Omega at the same time. I'm talking about the man that has declared the end from the beginning. That's the man that sent me. That's the man that raised me up. That's the man that a fool is testifying against. Oh yes, if you hate what I'm doing, then we have a lot of questions to ask right about now. We have a few things to go through and find out about. Now these people who come and testify against me, again, they hate my sender. They are against my sender's law. They're against perfection. They're against the wisdom of Yahweh. And their soul is unconverted. But the media is after them for every statement they make, trying to make them and lay them at my feet as if they were a former follower, a follower or former. They never were a former follower. Because my book tells me that a man that turned back from Yahweh is like a dog that returned to lick up his own vomit. So anybody that has come to me and went back and testified against me, he's a vomit eater. Puke eater. Y'all know what vomit is? It's puke. Y'all know what puke is? That's regurgitated, stale, nasty food that you throw up that you don't want to eat again. I mean, not somebody with sense. I mean, if you saw a man throw up and then eat it right back, would you want to have him for a husband? How about him for a husband? Every day he throw up on the table and then lick it up off the table. I How about kissing him good night? That's saying the world is like puke. The world is like vomit. The world is like undigested food that had started through the process of, digestion and has been thrown. That's what the world is like. Now, when these people return back to the world, you have to compare them to the people who stayed with me as a disciple and compare the works. Now, those that come from the world and remain with me, you hate what we're doing? No, I mean the one that goes back does. That's what I read in the paper. That's what I heard in the courtroom. They said they hate what I'm doing. Well, what am I doing with you? Teaching you becoming a good people that love good. You practicing love to each other and to all the people of the world. You're practicing morality, being honest, honorable. People that don't want to live honest among us, we put them out from among us. We're opening businesses. Huh? We're opening hotels. We're serving people from all over the earth. We're taking old, destroyed apartments and making them new. And places that was once drug dens and where prostitution and all types of evil took place, it's clean now. I have a righteous nation that I've carved out of the world that remains with me. And many of us wear white, signaling to the world that we've made a change. And of all the riots that take place, we're never in it tearing down, we're always building up. Now what happens to those that came to me, hate what I'm doing, and went back? We keep the high holy days. They don't. We keep the Sabbath, the seventh day holy. They don't. We're building the government of God. We're building the kingdom of heaven. We're building the kingdom of Yahweh. They're not. We have a clean society. They don't. All of them are my detractors, and all of them together have not done any part of what we're doing. What I want you to understand is, I don't care what happens, Pharaoh lost. Now, it may have looked like Pharaoh won when the frogs let up. Yeah. See, it may have looked like Pharaoh won when the lice let up. Yeah. See, it may have looked like Pharaoh won when the water cleared up. And it may have looked like Pharaoh won when the darkness dissipated, but he knew he lost when all their firstborn died. But he still didn't learn his lesson. He understood when he and his whole army was drowned. See, once again, that was too late. Look, see what I love about Yahweh is he's a man of war. See, Yahweh is a strategist. He's the master of strategy. Check this out. See, Yahweh baited Pharaoh and his army into the most exclusive trap I've ever read of in history. Right? I mean, he put it in Pharaoh. Come on and get them. Pharaoh said they don't have no weapons. They don't have no guns. They don't have nothing to defend themselves. Sick them, Pharaoh. Pharaoh, yeah, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. So they ran it up to the Red Sea. Pharaoh said, we got them. And Israel was looking back. They didn't know what to do. But, Yahweh opened up the Red Sea and they looked back at Pharaoh and they ran across. Pharaoh said, we got them now. Yahweh was sucking them into a trap. And they ran down into the trap. What happened? Same Yahweh. Same Yahweh. Same Yahweh. Oh, Yahweh is mighty. So you understand what happens when you have all these people who come to me. I have two kinds. One that come and leave. And one that come and stays. And the one that stays constitutes the remnant. Many are called. Many have come here. But few choose to stay. And I'm working miracles with you that stay. Of the tens of thousands that have come to me and left, where is their school for their children? Where is their college, their university? Here's mine. Where's theirs? What is their children doing compared to what our children are doing? How smart are their children compared to how brilliant our children are? Their children do not know how to live on the earth. All those who came to me and left, their children do not know how to live on the earth. Yet I have some students over here, some brothers that say they know how to make an earth. Yeah, is that right? Which one of my students said that? They're so wise that they're bragging about knowing how to make an earth. I think that's all right. See, I really understand what they're saying. Oh yeah, I understand what they're saying. And any one of them that can see that can do that. Because see, I understand what they're saying. They're saying they have looked at Genesis and they understand the order. Oh, that takes a keen observation. To be able to look at Genesis and see the order. They're saying, I see, I understand, I perceive the system that Yahweh ben Yahweh used. I can comprehend the system, the mathematical system, the geometric order that he used. See, I can see that. They've looked down into it a little bit, and it's enough to frighten anybody else. I guarantee you those that have come and left can't say that. Neither can their children. But I'm raising up children who can see how the earth is made. My babies can see it. They see order. Yes, they do. See, all of my children are ready. They know that they are going to bring in a new world. Now, I guarantee your life that if I were to go and say those same words, or if you went and said those identical words in any public school assembly, the assembly would be quiet. Huh? Not a mumbling word. If anything at all was said, they might laugh if they did anything. But you would get no reaction. How many believe you get no reaction from a public school assembly? Zero reaction. Did you see my babies? I mean, are you conscious? Did you see their reaction? I said, my students, all my babies here, really understand they're going to bring in a new world. How many understand why our enemies want to take me from you? Is it clear why they would like to take me from you? See, our enemies are in charge of the public school. And they are not producing children who are conscious of bringing in a new world. Are conscious that they can bring in a new world. This is the first time I've ever said that in front of them. In our history, look at the spontaneous reaction. They know the old world is full of sin and evil and wicked. And all my children know the new world is righteous and good and perfect. I'm going to try another experiment. I've never said this in my life before with my children. All of my children over here in Yahweh University, these little fellas and these fellas, all of Yahweh University, over here and over there, I'll bet you they're going to chase the devil out the world. Now say that in the public school. They'll run you out of there. Because the public school is full of devils. You think our enemies want this? What can they do about it? Can they stop you from loving me? Can the enemy cause you to turn away from me? Now, I don't exist just in Miami. My power is not concentrated in Miami. People come up from all over the earth just to take a picture of my name on property. Yeah. People all over the earth recognize my name. So why you come to stay at our hotel? It's that name, those 4 letters up there. Yuhe-Wahe. That's why. We know that's the name of God. That's the Hebrew God. And that's where we want to stay. And that's where they're coming and staying too. Just wanted to give you a comparison of those who come to me and leave. What are their works? Good or bad? And what are the works of those that stay with me? So which of my good works do my detractors seek to destroy me for? I say that the enemy of Yahweh loses. So people who leave the world and come to me and go back to the world, what happened to their soul? Not converted. Oh, Yahweh is mighty. So you understand what happens when you have all these people who come to me. I have 2 kinds. one that comes and leaves, and one that comes and stays.